Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this video has been long overdue because today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo on the new Revolution Define and Conceal foundation. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is this foundation right here. Now, when Revolution first came to South Africa, they came in with the stick foundations, the one that looks like this. And then now they brought in the second foundation, which is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. Now, okay, let's talk about this. I want to keep it short and sweet so that you can get the gist of what's happening with this foundation, and you can go in straight to see the demo and then make your purchase after this. So, okay, first things first, this is in the shade F10. And it comes in a 23ml bottle. So the first thing is you're only getting 23 ml of product in this Conceal and Define foundation. And the standard is for a bottle of foundation 30 ml. So you are really getting a lot less in this than you would in a just normal stock standard foundation. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it comes with a doe foot applicator. So the applicator looks like this. Some people like it. I personally don't like it because I feel if you're color correcting and you take this foundation and apply it over your color corrector, it will move the product that you have put down first. So your color corrector will sort of smudge away if you attempt to take this and now draw or place your foundation on your face. I guess it works a little bit better if you sort of dot it with the doe foot applicator, but sometimes you forget and that could cause a series of other problems. So I actually really don't like the doe foot applicator. And also another thing is it's so thick and it's so big that I think the product sort of just separates and it doesn't really get onto the applicator that much. So by the time you open it and put it on your face, there's not that much product that comes out. Then you have to go in again and that puts air into the actual bottle, and it's just, I don't think it's very clever per se. So anyway, this bottle is a frosted glass bottle and it's just a normal foiled pink sticker thing that they put around it. Now the third thing is that the price of this foundation. It is 220 Rand from Clicks, if I'm not mistaken, which is quite expensive for a lower end foundation. It's not cheap. I really do not think that this should be 220 Rand. There are so many other foundations that you can get that is really, really good for a fraction of the price. For instance, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. This is 100 Rand from Clicks as well, and it is brilliant. Wearing this, so it really is matte. It has really, really nice coverage, which is an up for me. But what I have noticed is on my oily skin, it does tend to break up after a while. So most foundations do break up anyway. It's got nothing to do with sort of the price point, it's lower end or higher end. It's just that this specific one sits nicely on the skin for a while, but it does tend to start breaking up. So when I'm using my glasses, you'll see that it starts to break up around the nose area, but that, as I said, is pretty normal. But if I compare the way that looks, the Revolution foundation looks at the end of my working day as compared to the Wet n Wild, the Wet n Wild outlasts it 10,000 times better than what the Revolution one does, and this is half the price of that. So that's just another thing that was a bit weird, was the price of this foundation, because I really do not think that the foundation is worth the price. But with that said, I really don't think it's a terrible foundation. I don't know if I would go out of my way to I don't really know if I'd go out of my way to purchase it again, but I'll use it up, I'll see how it goes, but for now that's just my thoughts on it. Out of 10, I'd give it a 5.5, or okay, I'd give it a 6, just because the coverage is quite nice. It just doesn't last that long. So yeah guys, that's my 2 cents on the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. If you'd like to see how I got this, how I applied the foundation and the process and the blending and all the rest, then please keep on watching. Okay, so obviously you can see I've color corrected my face, and just I have previously done my eye makeup off camera because it's irrelevant to the review of the foundation. So I'm just going to give it a good shake, and then, so as I may have mentioned, I really do not like this doe foot applicator. It doesn't get that much of the foundation onto it. And then when you sort of have to apply it onto your face, you kind of have to rub it. And I feel like if you do color correct, it sort of moves the product around. So that's why now, after using this a few times, I've decided to actually just do little dabbing motions like this. Okay, so now to blend all this foundation out, I'm just going to be using a Real Techniques buffing brush just to blend it out. Buffing brushes are generally my go-to for any type of foundation that I actually use, so that's why I've just opted to do this. But I definitely will do a second layer, and I will blend the second layer out with my Real Techniques blending sponge, just for a lighter coverage than this first layer that I will be doing. So the foundation blends out quite nicely. You don't really have issues with like the blending of the foundation, and as soon as you sort of blend it into the skin or apply it, you will notice that it starts to dry down quite matte and sort of like powdery as well. Okay, so this is what one layer of foundation looks like. The coverage is fairly good, but I like to be a little extra. So I will go in with a second round. And this second layer is sort of like pretty much where you kind of need it the most type layer. Well, I guess that's my entire face, so don't judge. And then I'll just blend it all out with my sponge. I thought it would be a good idea to try the Revolution Conceal and Define foundation with the Conceal and Define concealers. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade C10 and just pop in a little bit right there, and just put it on the usual areas. I'm just going to blend the C10 all out. So C10 is the same color as the foundation. Now I'm going to take C5 and just do a little bit of highlighting with C5. Then I'm just going to blend it all away. Then next, what I'm going to do is take some of this Hollywood Bake loose setting powder, and this is in the banana shade, and I'm just going to set my under eyes with this powder. So far all the products, well, the concealer works really well with this foundation. So that is an upside if you want to keep the your makeup all one branded. And this foundation, guys, is really quite matte. So if you are if you do have dry skin, you would really need to moisturize quite well. Then next, I'm just going to set my face with the Flormar loose powder, and this is in the shade Beige Sand. I just want to get rid of these foundation lips using my favorite lip balm, and that's the Vaseline Lip Therapy in Rosy Lips. Okay, now for just to finish everything else up, I just did my lower lash line. I'm going to use the Essence Matte Blush in the shade Peach Me Up, and I'm just going to put that onto my cheeks. Then I'm just going to blend it in just a little bit with my sponge. Next, I'm just going to set my face with the Flormar setting spray.